let somebody else feel the same way. Be assured, properly assured with the good folks at Caribbean Alliance. Before we cross over to the news, let's say good evening to our wonderful, wonderful friends at La Falaise. Hoping that you guys are doing great.
La Falaise Medical Laboratory, my preferred choice for professional and confidential medical laboratory services. La Falaise provides results for all medical tests. If it can't be done there, they will facilitate it through their international partners. Their main office in Roseau is open from 7:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Mondays to Fridays and 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Home visits and emergency services are also available. Call 448-0100, WhatsApp 276-5213 or visit any of their other locations. Picard in Portsmouth, Mondays to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Marigot, Mondays and Wednesdays, 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Or Grand Bay, every first and third Thursday, 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. La Falaise Medical Laboratory, my choice, your choice, our choice.
Fair and balanced, unbiased and clear, concise and accurate. This is the DBS Evening News. Here now is your presenter with the headlines.
In the headlines, Acting Police Chief Lincoln Corbett says the police war on drugs will continue as drugs with a street value of $53 million were destroyed this afternoon. In news from the region, Haiti's newly gang force issues its strongest warning to the country's armed criminal networks, and internationally, U.S. military officials in Ukraine for talks on ending the war. I'm Alian Christopher with the DBS Evening News. The details of the news when we return.
This Christmas, Flo's making the season merrier when you add postpaid to internet. Unwrap a new smartphone for only $10. Plus, we're giving you 35% off your mobile bill and win even more goodies with our Spin the Wheel Christmas promotion. This Christmas, the rewards are on us. Add postpaid to your internet plan today in-store or visit discoverflow.co for more info. Terms and conditions apply. Flo, we keep your Christmas rhythm flowing.
DBS News.
The police have stated that its war on the drug trade will continue as drugs with a street value of $53.3 million were destroyed at the police training school in Monbrose today. The drugs were from seizures made this year.
We are destroying cocaine, marijuana. As part of Police Week, we use that initiative to do that, to show the public the confidence of the police and to show the public what we have done, our hard work in our searches and our efforts to clamp down on criminals, and in our success as Operations 10 Street. Recently, with the amount of cocaine we seized with a street value of $52 million is being destroyed. That's EC dollars being destroyed there at Monbrose. Also, we have matters that were disposed at the court. We're talking about cocaine and cannabis. Yeah, cocaine would be approximately $52 million, and the cannabis is about $1.2 million, EC dollars.
That is Acting Superintendent of Police in charge of the Central Division, Delvin John Jules. Acting Police Chief Lincoln Corbett says the police will intensify its efforts to rid the streets of cocaine and other illegal substances. He says the work of the police should not go unnoticed.
This sends a very serious message to the criminals that we won't back down. We'll keep fighting, ensure that we can keep the streets clean. Because this drug, the cocaine, is a very dangerous drug. And we won't spend any efforts to ensure that we tackle and take them head on. So that's the message here this afternoon, that we'll be destroying the fruits of their labor, as it were. But clearly, the work of the police is showing. It's showing, and clearly, to seize 742 kilos of cocaine in one shot, that's a big deal. And the officers who did that must be commended. I would have done that before. I'll do it again every time I'll do it. It's a lot of hard work. It's not by accident that we came across on this amount of drugs. Very confident and very happy, the officers who work in and who were able to seize this drug. I'm not leaving anybody out. The drug squad at the forefront of seizing the drugs. The Firearms Task Force is also at the forefront. All other officers who working hard, all must be commended. Or Intel Arm must be commended for doing that hard work. Because as I say, it's not easy work. It's a lot of hard work to get those drugs off the streets of Dominica.
Acting Police Chief Lincoln Corbett, Minister for National Security Rayburn Blackmore was present at the exercise in which drugs with a street value of $53.5 million were destroyed.
I want to start by firstly commending the police chief and the officers, inclusive of both men and women. As I've said before, and I want to reiterate for emphasis, the Dominica Police Force represent the best in the OECS catchment. And that is a further manifestation as to the tremendous work they have been able to do over the years. More specifically, as we heard from the Chief of Police and the Superintendent who was in charge of the Southern Division. And the amount of cocaine, or the quantity that's going to be actually disposed of today, and speaks to this year. And the quantum that you were making reference to in terms of the nominal value speaks to $52 million, and that is for cocaine. But if we go back to the period last year to now, we speak about $89 million worth of cocaine and other hard drugs. I mean, that in itself is a tremendous quantity of cocaine to be confiscated in a small island state. And one can say, yes, maybe, of course, the drugs are meant for other markets, but the spillover effect can be detrimental to a small population size. And it would demonstrate clearly, and I believe it would have been a wonderful experience to have had other media personalities and agencies here today. And it speaks to not only the professional manner in which the police have been able to conduct itself, but it speaks to the importance of transparency in the manner in which they go about doing the work. So I want to commend the police.
And that is Minister for National Security Rayburn Blackmore. Fort Young Hotel and Dive Resort has received international recognition by winning 5 awards in the Scuba Diving Magazine's 2026 Reader's Choice Awards. The hotel achieved top honors in the following categories: Best Overall, Quality of Resort, Quality of Staff, Quality of Rooms, and Value of Resort. Samantha Doctrove-Later is Group Marketing Manager for GEMS Holdings.
So yes, the Fort Young Hotel is making waves once again. We are proud to announce that we have been honored with 5 prestigious dive awards from Scuba Diving Magazine's 2026 Reader's Choice Awards. The awards were received by our General Manager, Ronson Dirampel, along with Tarisha Thomas, our Sales and Reservations Manager, and Francisca Joseph, our Dive Shop Supervisor. The team were attending the DEMA Dive Show alongside the Discover Dominica Authority and other dive stakeholders. These awards celebrate not only the Fort Young Hotel's world-class dive experiences, but it celebrates the dedication of our dive team and the commitment of every member of the Fort Young Hotel family. So together we continue to ensure that every guest's journey exceeds their expectations, from the moment they check in at our front desk to the moment they enter into our underwater world. So yes, this recognition shines a spotlight on the Fort Young Hotel, but also shines a spotlight on Dominica, solidifying our island's position as the premier dive destination in the Caribbean. So we say thanks to our Fort Young team and to all our guests who continue to choose the Fort Young Hotel for their diving experiences here in Dominica.
Group Marketing Manager of GEMS Holding, Samantha Doctrove-Later. The Department of Social Services will host a national debate as Dominica joins in the observance of Universal Children's Day tomorrow. Acting Director, Department of Social Services, Dr. Tesha Coffee Casimir, says this year's observance will place focus on the theme, My Day, My Right. Dr. Coffee Casimir says the department is ensuring no child is left behind during this year's observance.
So the Department of Social Services will implement a series of activities. The aim is really to celebrate children, to uplift them and to support them. As part of our highlight activity, national debate will be held on co-parenting. The theme for this debate is co-parenting agreements should be designed around children's rights, not parents. The overall theme for the Universal Children's Day is My Day, My Rights. And so we felt that this debate aims to raise national awareness for children's rights. It will help also to promote responsible parenting and highlight the importance of children-centered decision-making. It's also an opportunity to encourage all stakeholders and the public to reflect on how co-parenting arrangements must prioritize the children's safety, their emotional well-being, and the developmental needs above all. We'll also be making a visit to the children's ward as an outreach gesture. That would be done on the Friday following Universal Children's Day. This initiative basically ensures that every child facing illness feel valued and supported, particularly on their day. We also intend to support the children that are directly under our care, those that are institutionalized. We intended to host a special appreciation activity for the children at Chances, as well as Operation Youthquake. Similar activity would be conducted at Alpha Center.
Acting Director, Department of Social Services, Dr. Tesha Kofi Kazume. The national debate among students of the Dominica State College will take place at the UWI Open Campus from 9 a.m. Meantime, a child abuse road march in the community of Kalibishi is being held in observance of Universal Children's Day tomorrow.
We are having a child abuse prevention road march as we observe World Universal Children's Day. And this event aims to raise awareness about the importance of protecting our children and promoting their rights, safety, and well-being. We start from 9 o'clock at our platform, and our theme is Protect Our Children, Secure Our Future. Expecting maybe 3 or 2 preschools from our district to join us, as well as the Kalbishi Primary School and the SDA Primary School, and community members in the community of Kalbishi with children and their parents. We believe that together, as early childhood educators and caregivers, we can make a powerful statement by standing united against child abuse, advocating for the protection and empowerment of every child in our community. This is what we aim to do, to encourage everyone to come out and support us. We have to remember that every child deserves to grow up freely and safe and loved. Let's raise children who won't have to recover from their childhood traumas. That is our aim.
Teacher of the Kalibishi Baptist Preschool, Oretta Warrington. Parliamentary representative for the Roseau South constituency, Shakira Lockhart Hippolyte, is encouraging residents of Newtown to take advantage of the marine offerings in the community. Hippolyte says the yachting sector in the community is steadily growing over time. She adds that she had provided resources to enhance yachting security in the area.
What we want to do is to encourage them, is to encourage young people to get into fishing. I keep saying to people that Newtown, we don't have land space, but we have the sea, and we have to use the sea for our resource. As you can see, during the Creole Festival season, there were a number of yachts that docked into Newtown. So what we want to do is to encourage our young people to get into the marine aspect of it. I, as PAL rep, I donated a boat to the Newtown fisheries that cost over $25,000 for yachting security. I've also made available 10 moorings to the fisheries. I'm not too sure if they're utilizing it right now. I have to have a discussion with them. But I've also donated 10 moorings. This will help with they raising their own funds, and so that more yachts can come in, because when you dock on a mooring, it's just like you renting an Airbnb for a night. Sometimes they charge 40 US, they charge 50, they charge 60 US to dock on a mooring. So right down there, that is an income, an opportunity for our young people to get into.
Parliamentary representative for Roseau South constituency, Shakira Lockhart Hippolyte. The Youth Development Division will recognize over 100 young people during a certificate award ceremony on Friday at 2:30 in the afternoon. The ceremony recognizes the young people for their participation in an 8-week short course program this year.
And these courses covered a range of areas including sewing, small electronic repair, digital device maintenance, Canva and Photoshop design, financial literacy, videography, and public speaking. The ceremony is really an opportunity to celebrate the hard work of these people and their dedication and their growth. We want the public to know that the Youth Development Division remains committed to expanding opportunities for young people across Dominica. So, for example, the programs that our graduates will receive certificates for were delivered both face-to-face and in one instance virtually. And we continue to use every mode, whether in person or online, to reach our young people wherever they are. And we also ensure the decentralization by offering these trainings in several different communities across our 8 districts so that access to opportunity is not limited by location.
And that is Chief Youth Development Officer Merita Hyacinth. The certificate award ceremony is set for 2:30 at Goodwill Parish Hall. On our featured segment of the news, Ronaldo Luke Pascal and her sister Rhonda paid a visit to Candace Lipso icon Philip Chubby Mark at his home in Grand Bay.
The comfort of his home in Grand Bay, where he was born and raised, Philip Mark welcomed us inside and sat down to share the story of his life, beginning with how he first came to be known by the nickname Chubby.
Yeah, well, they call me Chubby due to my dancing and my singing. You have a guy from, I think, Barbados that used to dance a kind of dance they call twist, you know? And you know his name was Chubby Checker. So I just copy on him. I used to do the twist good to myself. So the name just stick on me and so, you know? Yeah.
The 76-year-old explains that for as long as he can remember, he has always had a deep love for music. He went on to share how he first became involved in the art form, noting that his musical journey officially began in 1971.
When I started singing in school, boys' school. But when I leave boys' school, I'm on my own. I decided, well, okay, let me go through that. In Calypso and so on and so on. So from Calypso to Candace music, from Candace music to the other album I can't make there. So start singing Calypso. We singing stars to back us up at that time. But I was pretty young at that time. And then my first Calypso was one they called Mado So Kitumi. And I have a couple others. But after that, we see like we make it good in Dominica, so we call all the members and we had a meeting and we decided we're going to Guadeloupe. So we migrate to Guadeloupe, where we will hear more French music, and then we'll just copy on that. We go to Guadeloupe, we make our first album with a guy called Debs. But it's little money they used to pay us, not big money, but we wanted the name. And so the first album was an album they called Noma Fam. I nunca podezano. Those kind of things there. And then the second album is one they call Taronho. The third album one they call Sukwesaku. Because we have about 20 or more albums.
And that is Candace Lipso icon Philip Chubby Mark. He was speaking of sisters Ronalda and Rhonda. They paid a visit to the Candace Lipso icon Philip Mark on this week's feature. With that, we end the national focus. Regional and international developments comes up next.
This Christmas, Flo's making the season merrier when you add postpaid to internet. Unwrap a new smartphone for only $10. Plus, we're giving you 35% off your mobile bill and win even more goodies with our Spin the Wheel Christmas promotion. This Christmas, the rewards are on us. Add postpaid to your internet plan today in store or visit discoverflow.co for more info. Terms and conditions apply. Flow, we keep your Christmas rhythm flowing.
DBS News.
Welcome back in news from the region. Haiti's newly constituted gang suppression force has issued its strongest warning yet to the country's armed criminal networks, declaring that the era of gang dominance is simply over. In a hard-hitting statement signed by Force Commander Godfrey Otung, the Unified Security Forces said they have intensified intelligence-led coordinated operations across the country to flush out gangs from their areas of operation. The gangs Wang said the transition from the multinational security support mission to the new force marked far more than a name change, describing it as a complete reorganization of Haiti's security machinery designed to dismantle the groups that have long terrorized communities. Internationally, the U.S. military has said senior Pentagon officials have arrived in Ukraine to discuss efforts to end the war with Russia. The team, led by U.S. Army Secretary Dan Driscoll, is expected to meet Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in Kiev on Thursday when he returns from a trip to Turkey. A day earlier, reports began surfacing that the U.S. and Russia had prepared a new peace plan containing major concessions from Ukraine. Neither Washington nor Moscow has officially confirmed the plan. That's the news for this evening. I've been the presenter of the news, Alian Christopher. The DBS Sports Report comes up next with Gavin Richards.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Well, good evening. I'm Gavin Richards with the DBS Evening Sports Report. Let's begin with news that the proposed synthetic track and an Olympic-sized swimming pool at Point Round has taken another step towards becoming a reality. Well, this following a site visit with various stakeholders to the proposed site at Point Round this morning. Minister of State with Responsibility for Sports, Senator Oscar George, and other government officials, as well as representatives from World Athletics and the Dominican Athletics Association, were all part of the touring delegation. Well, Senator Oscar George says the next step is to develop a master plan for the project.
We have embarked on a process to develop a master plan. This master plan will inform us as to the best layout of the facility, the best site. It will ensure that we have proper designs and estimates, proper drawings to inform us going forward. And of course, this master plan will be a project document for many years to come. So we are here doing the walkthrough. Obviously, we need to ensure that everything is done properly and that we have a complete plan to work with. We are working alongside the local athletics association. We are also working alongside the World Athletics, who have committed to support us in our mandate to develop this track. And just to say that we are working with the firm Patriots Limited. It's a firm that has been recommended. It's highly recommended. They have done a number of work around the region and internationally in terms of developing such facilities. So we are happy to have them there with us. They will be leading our efforts in developing the master plan for this facility.
And that's Minister of State with Responsibility for Sports, Senator Oscar George. He says the master plan is expected to be completed in 8 to 10 weeks.
I think one of the goals that
the facility is proposed to include the track, obviously, the 8-lane track, the Olympic-sized swimming pool. We have some hostels or accommodation for our athletes. We intend to have an administrative block with a few offices. We are also intending to have some parking, a place where we can congregate and socialize. Obviously, it will come with adequate bleachers and seating, change rooms, washrooms, storage rooms, which is also very important, where we can store our equipment, especially our track equipment. So it's a complete project that we are embarking on, and that's why this master plan process is so very important for us to ensure that we can get it right going forward.
And that's Minister of State with Responsibility for Sports, Senator Oscar George. Meantime, President of the Dominica Athletics Association, Brendan Williams, says this is a major moment for track and field, and the facility will open new doors for the athletes.
I think one of the goals that the Dominica Athletics Association set out is, one, to work in tandem with the government of Dominica to deliver the track. And I must go on public record to thank the Ministry of Sports and the Honorable Prime Minister to make this a realization. And the next goal is to host Carifta in the near future.
Yes.
And we're looking at Carifta 2028, where one, it would be the anniversary year of Dominica celebrating 50 years of independence, and also a lead up towards LA 2028, where you will see some of our athletes actually come home to prepare for the event. So to see Thea Lafon coming home in 2028 to prepare for the games, Trennis Hamilton, Denick Luke, Addison James, Kyrell Eaton, just to name a few of our athletes who will be able to come home. And also to bring down European stars who will be looking for a venue to train close to the US. And we're also looking at the airport opening in 2027, so we'll have direct flights from Europe and to prepare the athletes to go straight to the US to compete for the Olympics. So it's a broader picture, but I'm happy that it's coming to fruition.
President of the Dominica Athletics Association, Brendan Williams. Let's move to cricket news now, as Kofi James registered his maiden List A century and the first century of the regional Super 50 Overs tournament to put the Leeward Islands Hurricanes in a good position in their opening match against the Windward Islands Volcanoes in Trinidad. The Leewards batting first, while they were bowled out for 324. Kofi James got 103, Micaiah Louis 59, Carlon Bowen Tuckett 56, and Joel Andrew 31. While we had Kenneth Demba taking 3 for 56, Darren Head 3 for 58, and Sadrak Descart 3 for 43. The Windwards, they're going to need 325 to win. Meantime, rain had the final say in the match between Trinidad and Barbados. Well, that game ended in a no result with only 5.1 overs possible. Barbados were 48 without loss, with Kyle Mayers not out on 24 and Lenico Boucher unbeaten on 21. Rain also forced a no result in the match between Jamaica and Guyana. Guyana made a 287 for 6 in 47 overs, with Kevin Anderson getting 83 and Raymond Perez 61. Matthew Nandu 54, but Jamaica could not take to the field in reply. In some more cricket news this evening, Dominica's Usinio Fontaine got an important knock at the top of the innings as he helped the West Indies under-19 team to their second win over England in a rain-impacted match as they continued with their series in Grenada this afternoon. Well, England under-19 batted first and reached 160 for 5. And the West Indies chasing a revised target of 191 from 31 overs. They got a solid start from Usinio Fontaine as he shared an 84-run partnership for the opening wicket. Fontaine in the end made 39 and Jonathan Van Nang 57 not out as the West Indies made 192 for 4 in 30.1 overs to win by 6 wickets via the Duckworth-Lewis method. Let's go back to some track and field news as the Sports Division Primary Schools cross-country event came to a thrilling end this afternoon with Celine Hakim of the Will Strathmore Stevens Primary School winning the girls' event, while Omari Cesar of the Roosevelt Douglas Primary won the boys' event. In the first race of the afternoon at the Botanic Gardens, Celine Hakim of the W.S. Stevens Primary School, she won in grand style with a big win over Kerry-Ann Alexander of the Wesley Primary School, who finished second, and Aidan Nesty of the Christian Union Primary School, who finished in third. Winner of the race of the girls' final, as Celine Hakim says she felt good following the win.
So I feel very great because when I was running a race, like in my district, sir, like a girl had passed the wrong way and I was disqualified, sir. So when she won, I was feeling very sad because I didn't win, because I know I'm the sportswoman of the year, which is me. And then something inside me tell me, you know that race, I'm going to win that race. So it was very easy. So running the race, well, it was very tight because I had the cold and I was breathing very hard and my throat was hurting me, but I still pushed through.
Okay, there's so many girls here this afternoon. Where you think you edged them out this afternoon?
my endurance because I'm very brave, very diligent. My dream is to go in the Olympics. So people so I can run for Dominica, and Dominica can see me as Tiala4.
And that's winner of the girls cross-country finals, Celine Hakim. Well, for the boys, we had 12-year-old Omari Cesar of the Roosevelt Douglas Primary School winning that event. And, of course, he beat Kenson Paul of the Roseau Primary, who finished second, and DeAndre St. Rose of the Goodwill Primary, who finished in third. Omari Cesar said that he felt more like the experienced runner among his peers, as he has been training for approximately 2 years with his club coach, Nabi Wallace.
Well, I feel very happy, but at the same time, I have to thank my coach for all that he have done for me, like helping me to get even better, and I hope that I can come even better and better day by day.
How would you rate the route? Was it a challenging route or was it very easy?
Well, it wasn't easy. I wouldn't say easy. It was very challenging, yeah, especially the steps.
Okay, where you think you had the edge over your other competitors? Strength-wise, endurance, where you think you had the edge over your other competitors?
I feel like I have more stamina, and I feel like I had more strength to climb up the step than the others, and I feel like I'm more experienced.
And that's Omari Cesar of the Roosevelt Douglas Primary School. Well, domino action is going to be heating up from tomorrow as teams look to secure spots in the next round of the Julius Timothy Independence Domino League. League coordinator Delvin Esprit says it will be a packed weekend of domino action starting tomorrow.
A number of interesting matches will be played from Thursday night into the weekend in the Julius Timothy Independent Domino League. On Thursday at 7 p.m., non-players will travel to Grand Fort to play Rosima White City. Action continues on Saturday. That's when Itasi Stars will be in Vegas versus Wake Up Stars. BS Stars travel to Portsmouth to play Roadside. NATO Full Effects will be in River Civic to play Badside. Roadblock travel to Grand Fort to play Babdad. Warriors meet White City in Marigot. The unbeaten Brigadier Stars will meet Focus in Paybush. Isaac Bar, Brutal Forces will travel to Paybush to play Massey Square. And West Coast Cretton and Jerry Adrian Valiants will be in Constables to play non-players. And on Sunday, NATO Full Effects travel to Paybush to play Massey Square. Non-players will meet Roadside in Constables. Rosima White City play Focus in Grand Fort. And Babdad travel to Monwachet to play West Coast Cretton and Jerry Adrian Valiants. Delvin Esprit reporting.
And we say thanks to Delvin Esprit for that report. That will bring us to the end of the DBS Evening Sports Report. Of course, we'll have some more sporting highlights for you tomorrow morning. You hear the news with Ali and Christopher. And, of course, on behalf of the entire news and sports department, our links person, DJ Halo Boy, I'm Gavin Richard saying good evening.
Lafayette Medical Laboratory, my preferred choice for professional and confidential medical laboratory services. Lafayette provides results for all medical tests. If it can't be done there, they will facilitate it through their international partners. Their main office in Roseau is open from 7:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Mondays to Fridays and 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Home visits and emergency services are also available. Call 448-0100, WhatsApp 276-5213 or visit any of their other locations. Picard in Portsmouth.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins, and bidets. PVC piping, fittings, and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
DBS Radio gives you top quality service over any other for live streaming of funerals. Call us today at 448-3282.
welcome to the evening edition of the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. It is the 19th day of November 2025. We begin with this evening's edition of the DBS Radio Death Announcements on the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. We announce the death of Louis Martin Sevre, age 82, of Roseau, who resided at Lower Kings Hill. He was a former customs officer. He died on Monday, the 13th of October 2025 at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital. He was the father of Tricia Sevre, Reginald Sevre, Catherine Sevre Carrere, and Ashma Sevre Bertie. He will also be remembered by the mother of his children, Rosette Williams Daniels, his brothers, Stephen Jack Sevre, Clement Sevre, Peter Sevre, and Dr. Francis O. Sevre. His sisters, Jacqueline Sevre Shilling,